To my beautiful black women out there, does it ever occur to you that maybe the reason why you have so many problems is because you lack discernment? That when men are speaking to you, you show a preference to the men who kiss your asses and somehow tell yourselves that just because they say the things that you like, that somehow they're the ones who are being honest with you? Like this sister right here.
I need the women to recognize, and I need y'all to recognize quickly, that the men who pander 24/7 to women, especially on this app, are a lot of times just as violent and misogynistic as red pill men.
But that's just the thing. Red pill men are not misogynistic. We say things that you disagree with. We say things that have a ring of truth that you just don't want to admit because you don't like how it feels, you don't like how it makes you look, and it's a reality that you really just don't want to face. Because at the end of the day, while you're espousing your toxic feminist rhetoric, you still expect us to do very patriarchal things, such as providing for you, such as protecting you. And guess what? We're the ones who actually do that, as opposed to all these other men, whether it be the simps, the cuckolds, or even the Rainbow Coalition men. Nobody takes care of you like we do, which is why when it's all said and done, all roads wind up leading right back to us red pill men.
In certain aspects, they're actually more dangerous because they're not open and honest about it.
Now that I can agree with. You ladies pay all of these panderers and so-called male feminists, you pay them to lie to you. You make lying to you a highly lucrative profession. Do continue.
At least with an out in the open, honest, red pill, full-fledged misogynist, you know who they are, you can identify them quickly, you can avoid them at all costs.
Now notice what she said. She acknowledges that if nothing else, the red pill men are honest. But because we say things that you don't like, because we say things that make you feel a little bad, her advice is to tell you to avoid the men who are actually honest with you at all costs. So what are you going to do? You're going to ingratiate yourselves with the men who tell you the colorful lies, and then after they lie to you, you're going to complain about the fact that they lied to you? Make it make sense. Y'all keep telling us that y'all are so highly educated, but where's the highly educated decision making? Oh, but let's let her continue to hang herself a little bit.
But when it comes to the panderers, bitch, you'll find yourself in a relationship with one of them thinking that you're going to be cared for, loved, cherished, respected, understood. And then you will very quickly realize that you have been duped. You have been fooled. You have been bamboozled by sugar-coated fucking lies.
Okay, I can agree with that. And that's actually one of the biggest reasons why a lot of red pill men have a disdain, have a lot of misandry when it comes to these so-called panderers and male feminists and the whole ilk that tell you those sugar-coated lies, because we don't want to see you suffer at the hands of those lies. We don't want to see you continue down your toxic, dysfunctional trajectories simply because you chose to listen to the lies over the men telling you the truth. Because together, you and they make society suck.
I'm telling you, tread very fucking carefully, because y'all be in the comment sections of some of these men's videos who just sit online pandering to women 24/7, not realizing that you are hyping up the ego and boosting up the head of a mini undercover Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, like your Steve Harveys, who were telling millions of weak-willed, highly impressionable women that somehow just making a man wait 90 days was going to solve all their relationship problems. Or the men like the Derrick Jacksons, who constantly would tell women that any and all problems they ever had was always the man's fault, that nothing could ever be their fault. Or the Poppy Dons that would tell women, oh yeah, if a man is not spending money on you to a certain degree, if he's not just splurging his entire paycheck on you, that somehow he's a failure of a man. Or like the Yadas, whose message was the exact same. Even though wasn't Yada the one that beat his wife's head in with the barbell? And Yeah, Poppy Don, yeah, he beat his woman up too. Oh yeah. Oh, and Derek Jackson, yeah, that's the one that was making a fool out of his wife with multiple women and ultimately left this said wife for one of those cheap women. Oh, and the first one I said, Steve Harvey, we already know his history with his former wives.
Be in the comments of these men's videos like, oh yeah, this one deserves a mic. This one deserves a mic. This is the only one who deserves some podcast equipment. Get him a podcast expeditiously. Whole time he is just like the husband of that lady who was up here talking about her bonnet of salvation or whatever the fuck. Tread very fucking carefully. Because one thing I've realized throughout my life is that a man who truly understands, loves, and cherishes women in general don't have to spend all day every day proving to you that they do.
But that's exactly what those men do. They do it through their actions. They do it through normal consistency. They do it by consistently showing up for you, consistently following their duties and obligations to the relationship. You just don't recognize it for what it is, and you water it down or you downplay it. So that's why you don't see what they do.
They don't spend all day every day trying to convince you that they love and understand and cherish women, all right? They just do.
The truth of the matter is, nobody understands you. You don't even understand yourselves or each other. And that's the only thing that anybody has ever understood about you, that you are random as hell, and that you are indecisive, that you are double-minded, it's contradictory. You will cut off your noses to spite your faces. And the enwisened amongst the men just simply have learned to accept you for the flaming dumpster piles that you really are, and just move accordingly. We've learned that to a certain degree we have to disregard the things that you say because you rarely actually mean them. And in the greater scheme of things, you don't care about rightness or wrongness. You only care about results which you expect us to bring about in your favor. So yeah, we're going to disregard some of the things you say. We're going to chalk it up as bullshit, and we're going to do what needs to be done and not necessarily what you want to have done.
They just live their life, they just do their thing, and after you're around them for a certain period of time, you can just tell that's the type of man that they are simply based off the way they naturally carry themselves. But these ones who sit up here, post 10, 20 videos a day like, oh yeah, I'm with the women, I'm on the women's side, I'm on the girlies' side, you know, these men ain't shit, these men are so terrible. A lot of them are liars.
Well, of course, because you have taught those men that lying to you by telling you all those sweet nothings, by calling themselves holding other men accountable, which really just translates into fulfilling your desire to see other men punished for disagreeing with you or for hurting your feelings. Well, you've made that the fast track to having sexual access or access to your money, because that's how you support them. You have supported these men. You have created a living for these men based on them lying to you in the way that you want them to lie to you. You've made Tyler Perry a billionaire.
They're liars. They're liars. They're seeking your validation. They want your clicks, they want your likes, they want your follows, they want your comments because they can monetize it on this app and get income.
Well, duh. Isn't that what we red pillars have been telling you all since the beginning? Oh yeah, that's right. You tell us to shut our mouths, to stay in our lanes. Oh, and yeah, that's right. As you said at the very beginning, you avoid us and you encourage other women to avoid listening to us, even though you know and you recognize that at the very least, we're being upfront and honest with you.
But behind closed doors, when you really get down to the nitty-gritty, they don't give a fuck about you. That's why time and time again, we see male influencers on this app who y'all thought were the greatest thing since sliced bread, who come to find out have been cheating on their girlfriend, cheating on their wives, beating their baby mama while she was pregnant, get caught on camera saying some absolutely disgusting, deplorable, misogynistic, violent ass shit. Don't find yourself tricked and in a fucked up situation because you viewed these men through rose-colored glasses that they ever so slightly placed on your face by telling you exactly what the fuck you want to hear on social media.
But that's the rub, isn't it? Because even when some of you, and I stress some of you, come to this grand epiphany, you leave it at that. You just tell these women, yeah, this is yet another category of men to not listen to. Meanwhile, you still disregard and disrespect The red pillars who've been actually honest with you, and you don't encourage your sisters to listen to them. So you give these women just the choice of either continuing to listen to the sweet lies and sweet nothings of the men who are probably the most toxic and abusive to them, or nothing. Yeah, that's a great idea. Good luck with that. Good luck and Godspeed.